Hi everyone and welcome back. When Photoshop CS4 was released many years back, Adobe unleashed a new technology to the masses, which has changed the way we edit our photos. ContentAwareScale was introduced with Photoshop CS4, and the content-aware technology has been expanding ever since, with content-aware fill and content-aware healing in Photoshop CS5, and this year in Photoshop CS6 we saw the addition of the content-aware patch tool and the content-aware move tool. In the next few videos we're going to be taking a look at these fantastic tools and how you can benefit from them in your projects. To kick things off, let's start from the beginning when ContentAwareScale was introduced. Here's a photo that I took at Stonehenge not too long ago. Let's pretend for a moment that I wanted to turn this landscape shot into portrait. What are my options? Well, first, the most obvious would be to grab my crop tool and crop out the size of this photo. While this definitely gives me a portrait image, I lose all the people walking in the background. What if I want to keep those people in the image? Okay, let's try scaling it. Before the image can be scaled, you must first convert the background into an editable layer. This can quickly be done by holding down your Option key on the Mac, Alt key on Windows, and double-clicking on the background layer. Now, entering free transform mode with the Command or Control T shortcut, I can now scale the image inwards. If I hold my Option or Alt key down, it will scale from the center. Well, while this method definitely keeps the people in the photo, there's a clear issue. Everything is squished. So now what? Well, let's look at ContentAwareScale and how it can help in these situations. Under the Edit menu, you're going to find ContentAwareScale. For the most part, it works identical to the transform tool you've already been using. A bounding box surrounds your layer, which allows you to scale in or out. However, watch what happens when I perform the same scale as I did before. The main subjects in this image are staying pretty much intact, while the repeatable areas like the grass and the sky are being seamlessly scaled. Photoshop does its best to isolate the important non-repeating subjects like people, and in this case stones, and scale the rest as seamlessly as possible. However, if you look closely at the stone on the left, it's not always perfect. Fortunately, there is a solution. Over on the right side of the options bar, there's a Protect option. This essentially allows you to further isolate objects in your image when the scaling takes place. In order to protect an area of your photo, you must first create a selection and then convert that selection into a channel. Let's look at how this is done. For a situation like this, your selection doesn't necessarily have to be 100% accurate. In fact, it may actually help if there's a border around your subject. So to make this simple, I'm going to grab my polygonal lasso tool and create a very basic selection around the stones in the center of the image. Again, making sure to leave a little bit of room around the outside. Once a selection is complete, it now needs to be converted into a channel. Usually the Channels panel is docked with your Layers panel, but if for some reason it isn't, you can always activate it under the Window menu at the top. When your Channels panel is visible, the second icon at the bottom will convert your selection into a channel. It may also be a good idea to name this channel. Double-clicking on the current label will allow you to do just that. Now that that's done, make sure that the RGB channel is active and deselect the current selection with your Command or Control D shortcut. Good, now we can proceed with ContentAwareScale, which again is hiding under the Edit menu. This time, before you scale anything, go ahead and choose your new channel from the Protect dropdown. Now, scaling the image, just like before, the area that was saved as a channel will now be protected from any funky algorithms, resulting in a much cleaner result. Let's look at one more quick example. Here's an image of a car. Assuming for whatever reason we wanted to stretch this car out to make it longer, the traditional transform tool definitely won't work too well. Notice when I scale it outwards, the wheels lose their roundness, which is pretty important if it actually wants to move. Let's try ContentAwareScale again. Just like in our last example, the important objects in this image, like the wheels of the car, stay proportioned, while the repeating textures are seamlessly scaled, resulting in a longer car. And that's ContentAwareScale, great for photos in which you'd like to scale up or down and at the same time keep your main subjects distortion free. In the next video, we're going to take a look at Content Aware Fill and Content Aware Healing. We'll see you soon.